What's up, guys? You've seen the Roli Seaboard block and the Lightpad block in many of my videos. These are MIDI controllers that allow you to get really expressive with your music. They share a lot of features, but they also look completely different. If you're on the fence about which one of these things to buy, or if you're just curious about what they do, today I'm going to list all the features that these two devices share and also tell you about the benefits each one has over the other. If you're new around here, I create videos about music production and music gadgets. I've done tons of videos about the Seaboard block and Lightpad block. If you want to check out some how-to videos on these devices or listen to some songs I've created with them, check out the other videos on my channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up with the latest of my music production videos and the latest music gadgets. So let's explore the similarities first between the Lightpad block and the Seaboard block. Both of them are MPE compatible. That's multi-dimensional polyphonic expression. That pretty much means that they don't just play like a regular keyboard, but you can do extra things. They give you 5 dimensions of touch. That's strike, press, so you can actually press harder, glide and slide, and also they record lift. What makes all that expression possible is the texture of the material that these are made out of. So these are both made out of a silicone type of material, which allows you to do more than just press them like keyboard keys. Let me show you on the Lightpad. You can strike this, but you can also press further down. You can also slide your finger around, and you'll notice that on the Lightpad, you actually get light feedback. Now, even though they're both made out of similar material, they feel a little bit different. The Seaboard block feels a little bit more sticky, for the lack of a better word. When you slide your finger on this, it feels like it grips the silicone material a little bit more than the smoother Lightpad. So when you touch the Lightpad, it feels a lot smoother, but there are ripples here which actually feel really good to the touch. One awesome thing about both these devices is that they are Bluetooth compatible, which means you can connect both of these and play sounds without any cords. And the fact that they're iOS compatible means that you can use these with iOS apps like GarageBand or the Noise app that Roli makes. The Noise app is great for your phone or your iPad, but I really prefer the Roli Equator player, which allows you to use these on your computer and pretty much any DAW that you use. Both of these give you 2 octaves to play with. You can see it very clearly here on the keyboard, but when you configure the Lightpad as a melodic player, you can now play this like a keyboard. So each of the lighted up squares here correspond to a different note. Both of these give you the exact same sounds, whether you use the Noise app or you use the Equator player. Now, the sounds that the Equator player comes with are great to start out with, but I highly recommend that you spend a little bit more money and get the full version of Equator because it comes with tons of other sounds which are so nice. The price difference between both of these is about $100. The Lightpad block is $200 and the Seaboard block is $300. If you plan to expand your Roli universe of devices, they're all compatible. They actually magnetically connect to each other, so you can add multiple Lightpad blocks, multiple Seaboard blocks to extend your octaves and do a lot more. All right, let's talk about the Seaboard block and what benefits this has over the Lightpad. So here are some reasons why you would love the Seaboard block. First up, it's the familiar form of the keyboard. If you're a keyboardist or a pianist, you're going to immediately know what to do with this. If you're used to playing chords and notes, you know how to identify the scales and chords right away. Now, in my opinion, 2 of the dimensions of touch feel better on the Seaboard. One of them is glide, and the reason I like glide more on the Seaboard is you have a lot more space to do a glide. Now, glide is really just pitch bend, and when you hit a note on the Seaboard, you're able to slide down here and then glide your finger up and down to do a pitch bend. The The Seaboard just gives you more space than the Lightpad to actually do those pitch bend moves. The other touch expression that feels a little bit better on the Seaboard is vibrato. What's really nice, again, this is kind of the pitch bend feature of this. When you hit a note, you're able to slide your finger back and forth in a vibrato type of fashion, as if you were doing this on a guitar or on a violin. So when you feel the raised notes and you're on one of these notes, this just feels more natural. All right, what about the Lightpad? Now, here are some reasons you would love the Lightpad. These are reasons that I really love the Lightpad. First of all, just look at it. It's tiny. The small form factor just lets you take this everywhere. You could honestly fit this in a pocket. I take it everywhere with me. It's stealthy. You could play it in a restaurant, on a plane. It's just fun to take everywhere, and I do take this anywhere I go. Next, the lights. The lights just look cool, and when you touch it and you're moving your finger, it just feels like something you want to play and touch, and it's just inspiring to look at something that's made so well. Next is configurability. You're actually able to configure this to do a lot of things with the software that Roli provides called the Roli dashboard. So right now this is configured to play notes in a scale. If I touch the lighted boxes, so that's a 2-octave scale. Now, I don't just have to touch the lighted parts, but I can also touch in between. Those are the notes in between in that scale of, I think, C right now. And I can also not just strike, I can also pitch bend and also change the sound in various ways. This is the melodic block configuration. I can also configure it as a drum block. Now with my DAW, I'm using Ableton right now, I can play a drum kit. You can have the 4x4 configuration, you can do a 2x2 configuration, or you can even do a 3x3. You can also use this as an Ableton Live Launchpad, which kind of allows you to do things that like the Novation Launchpads do, or the Ableton Push, not with all those features of course, but it allows you to trigger scenes and trigger clips. So if I trigger a scene, stop. You can also make this an XYZ pad, and as I run my finger around it, you can use this to control different plugins. It's great for controlling an auto filter when you want to control resonance and cutoff at the same time. I've done this many times in videos linked somewhere here. So there you go, configurability of the Lightpad. You can't do this on the Seaboard. Now you could play drums with this, just playing it like you do on a regular MIDI controller keyboard, but it just doesn't feel as good as having these nice drum pads right here. If you're not a keyboardist, the Lightpad block does let you have a little cheat sheet on playing scales and tunes. So with the 2-octave scale that you see lighted up here, it actually helps you play. It's showing you the notes that you can play so that your song sounds decent. You can change this to different scales as well. Now, if you are a keyboardist, although you're gonna think that this is the natural way to go, I really like the creative possibilities with the Lightpad. You know, sometimes you sit at your keyboard and you play the same chords that you do every single time. I do this all the time. The Lightpad takes me out of that mode and forces me to take a different approach and to even make mistakes, but those mistakes actually lead to creative results sometimes. And I like this because it takes me out of my typical approach of playing on a keyboard. All right, I hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about these devices, or maybe helped you decide which one you want to buy. Honestly, I can't live without both of them. I like them both in their own ways. And this one, I just take it everywhere I go. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Keep making the music that you love. And I will see you guys later.